Hello, HSPs. I'm Julie Bieland, a psychotherapist that specializes in the trait of high sensitivity, and I wanted to give you a little bit of some tips about travel as well as times that you are going to be spending in groups of people, like whether that's family get togethers or events, holidays, things like that. So, as someone that's highly sensitive, I find it helpful to talk about different tips that help us and love to hear your tips as well. So, put those in the comments and we can all share our tips together. So, recently I went on a trip that involved about 5-6 hours of driving time, and then it was going to involve a whole weekend of time with my partner's family. And when we're in groups of people, sometimes that can be very draining for us as HSPs, as highly sensitive people. And some things that have worked well for me and for some of my clients and students is that find out, like what I did in particular was I found out what were the events for the weekend that were important to the family. Rather than spending the entire day, 2 days in a row with family that I knew would be very draining for me in my energy. Even if I'm enjoying it, it can be very draining as a sensitive person. This trait is also called sensory processing sensitivity. So we do tend to get more depleted, especially introverted HSPs can get more depleted in groups. So I found out that, the dinner on Friday night and the party on Saturday night were the most important parts of the weekend. So rather than spending the whole day with the family, I actually took it as a chance to have a little bit of downtime as well as time doing something in nature. That's something that I've started to implement in my own life, and something that's helped some of my clients and students is to plan something in nature. So for my example, I was actually able to go to the ocean and spend some time with my sons playing in the water, and then all of us had some downtime after that, some rest before we went to the dinner. And we did the same thing the next day before we went to the party. Also, I found it helpful to talk to the family about my needs, how I sort of function best, and I told them that, while I really enjoy spending time with them, I would need to have some downtime and some rest in between. So that might mean that I come a little bit later or I leave a little bit earlier, things like that. And I found that that's helpful to just be upfront, and I'm able to express that this isn't about me trying to get away from them or something like that, I could tell them that was my positive need to be my best, and they were supportive of that and understood, and then there was no confusion about why am I leaving early, for example. And it's okay to do that if that's how you function your best, to find those things that work for you. As a sensitive person in the world, we don't have to say yes to everything. In fact, it's better, like in my circumstance, it was better that I could show up for the dinner and the party the next day more full, because I offer more of myself that way rather than getting so completely drained that it impacts my entire week the next week. And there's no such thing as perfection, so we always have to watch that as highly sensitive people. Nothing's going to be perfect, but you keep trying to find what works. Other things that are very helpful are if you're in a relationship, going to be attending a family function, for example, I find it really helpful to take moments of checking in with each other. Just to say, a little bit of eye contact, maybe, kind of taking each other's hand and just saying, everything going okay with you? Do you need anything? Where we're sort of checking in with each other about how we're doing. That tends to be something that reduces conflict in relationships as well, as to do that check-in. And so anyway, those are some quick tips. Let me know if you have more. I'd love to see some of the things that you're doing that work for you in travel and in events. And I hope you're taking good care of yourself. Take good care of yourself. Bye-bye.